Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, come on in here and sit down with me. We're going to read today verses 124 and 125 in Psalm 119. This is the Ayin division. It's the 16th section in Psalm 119, and this is what I've called the servant division because it's really all about the servant, which you will actually see yourself in this. He says, I've done justice and righteousness. Of course, the Christian man or woman is going to behave in justice and righteousness because they serve a living God who is just and right. And yet, even though that's the case, oppression occurs. There's an oppressor, and the proud oppress the righteous man who's living according to a holy lifestyle. And he says it there in verse 123, my eyes fail for your salvation. How could that be? How can it be that he's not seen yet God work? Well, sometimes, the Lord wants to see if we're going to be faithful. He wants to see, how our faith grows in the turmoil and in the oppression, because it always does. And so that's, the Lord knows what recipe you need. He needs to give you so that your faith grows and it gets stronger. Sometimes we can't see that. Oh boy, we're blind to it often, aren't we? That's why he says here, my eyes fail for your salvation and for your righteous word. Here it is in 124 and 125. Do with your servant according to your mercy, and teach me your statutes. I am your servant, teach me, that I might know your testimonies. Isn't that beautiful? We have servant twice, and we have teach twice. Do with your servant according to your mercy. So he can't see the salvation, but he just resigns himself to the mercy of God. He says, do with me according to your mercy. So I have oppressors. So what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast myself upon the mercy of God. According to your mercy, then behave towards me in that way. Oh, that's good, isn't it? And teach me. So there's something to be learned from the servant in oppression when he casts himself on the mercy of God? Absolutely. Yeah, we have something to learn. And when we're so disturbed and we're so upset that we can't see straight, friends, it's hard for us to learn. We need to calm down, cast ourselves upon the mercy of God and say, according to your mercy, now teach me. Teach me what I need to know so that I might continue to do justice and righteousness. So the servant says, according to your mercy, teach me. And then in 125, I am your servant. Notice he doubles down on that. Do with your servant in 24, I am your servant in 125. Teach me, again, there it is, that I may know your testimonies. You see, there's some comfort in oppression as the Lord teaches us, because that's the one thing we have. That's the only goodness that we have. The only fat in our life, maybe, is the teaching and the presence and the mercy and the goodness of God as he deals with us, his servants. Don't give up on your service. Don't turn to the evil one. Don't turn to despair. Turn to him. Cast your soul at his feet and say, according to your mercy, deal with me, do good to me, and teach me. That's exactly what this servant is saying here. And then notice how it ends. So the result will be, I might know your testimonies. Yeah. So in the oppression, I am learning his testimonies. In the oppression, he's teaching me. And what's he teaching me? His testimonies. So I become stronger and stronger and stronger in faith, because remember, faith is based on what God has said, right? I put my faith in his word, not in me, not in a hope, not in an emotion, not in a feeling. No, faith always lands on God's word, because there it has a foundation. All right, so join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at 126 and 127. And he kind of comes back to his prayer, when he says here, it's time for the Lord to act. Well, we'll read that tomorrow here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.